Welcome back. You're still tuned into Business Lunch. An important story now. Launched in 2019 for a period of 3 years, the second phase of FAME scheme, or the faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicles, is set to expire on the 31st of March 2024. Now, this scheme with the 10,000 crore outlay has already incentivized sales of 8.2 lakh vehicles so far. And while the industry is unanimous in its view that current level of subsidies must continue till 2030, the government currently is not too keen on continuing subsidies for a third time around. So Parikshit is picking up all of these exclusive details and joins us now. Parikshit?
Yes, there is a question mark on whether incentives under faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicle scheme will continue after 31st March 2024. Sources tell CNBC-TV18 that the government currently does not see merit in extending subsidies under FAME for a third time or making a fresh allocation. The reason is that the government believes that the ACC PLI for vehicles, components and existing subsidies have already incentivized different aspects of the electric vehicle value chain. Sales of private electric cars have increased without incentives and continue to increase. One view is that if subsidies have to continue, then it should only be for R&D into advanced battery technologies apart from lithium ion, such as sodium ion, aluminium ion and zinc ion. Secondly, government is also exploring the possibility of keeping subsidies only for electric vehicles with very high levels of localization from the 50% localization currently. Another reason why the government is not keen on extending subsidies is that the PLI scheme and battery swapping are set to bring down overall vehicle cost. Officials also want the EV industry to take advantage of local cell manufacturing in India, which they feel could bring down the battery cost as well. But no final decision on extending or ending FAME subsidies for a third time has been taken. Sources say a call will be taken in the second half of 2023.
All right, maybe not too keen there to extend the subsidies under the FAME scheme. In fact, TVS Motor at Davos was also telling us that there is a need to sort of extend this till a certain volume target is met. But as companies look to bet big on the EV space, one of the early movers in the electric vehicle segment, that Tata Motors, has repositioned its Nexon EV with an aggressive pricing strategy. So the range of the Nexon EV has been increased to 453 kilometers, while prices have also been brought down by 50,000 to 80,000 rupees. This is across their models as it passes on the benefits of enhanced localization to customers. So remember, existing customers of the Nexon vehicles will also be able to increase the range of their cars via a software update which goes live on the 15th of February. So that's an important update. That's an important update that we wanted to bring you. But let's get back to Davos. There's lots coming through from there and focusing on moving from fossil fuel to energy and more green energy. That is the word coming through from SR Capital's director Prashant Ruya. So let's listen in as he speaks to Shireen Bhan on the sustainability trends, as well as sheds lights on some very important ESG concerns. So listen in to that interesting conversation.
Group itself is focused around the same sectors which we have been involved in, but obviously with the new technologies, ESG focused, which are all necessarily around decarbonization, energy transition, and moving fossil fuel business or fossil fuel energy, which is what the world has been focused on for the last 5 decades, into greener fuels. The general feeling was you can just replace everything you have or what we've built. Right. But I think that's now, after the last 1 year, fairly clear that you also need to transition.
All right, that is Prashant Ruya speaking on the green energy and sustainability that they're putting into place. But there's more from Davos. Vaccine manufacturer major Serum Institute of India CEO Adar Poonawalla also says that they will invest 1,000 crore rupees in the Poonawalla Vision Fund, and that they're also looking at investment opportunities in the affordable healthcare and insurance segment. So let's listen into that.
We're investing a lot of capital in India. We're going to launch the Vision Fund, which is a Cat 2 fund. For startups and privately listed companies, because the stock market at the moment is still, stagnating to a certain extent.
How large is the fund going to be?
Well, we're putting in about 1,000 crores of our own capital to start with. We'll add another few thousand crores of other capital and our own capital as we build up a track record, going up to about $1 billion. But that's going to be in listed and unlisted entity. And I really want to push on the health insurance side, where I think there's some synergies and similarities between what we do at Serum and offering good, affordable healthcare and health insurance, to the citizens of India as well. So I want to focus on that.
Okay, that is an interesting chat with Adar Poonawala. But with that, we're going to get into a short break now. On the other side, we're going to bring you more on India's shrimp farming story and tell you what's really ailing the shrimp farmers. So take a short break and we'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. You're still tuned into Business Lunch, and despite shrimp accounting for nearly 75% of India's seafood exports, which stood at over 70,000 crore rupees in 2022, the farmers are really still struggling for survival. We had Shilpa Ranipeta, who reports that wafer-thin margin and rising cost of production, shrimp farmers in Surat are hoping that the finance minister in this budget will throw them some kind of lifeline. So take a look at the special report.
We all know that the south of Gujarat is popular for its diamond and textile industries. But did you know that this is also the third largest hub for India's 44,000 crore shrimp farming and export market? Now, involving about 1,600 farmers, this industry that also exports to China and the US markets also employs about 30,000 people directly and many more indirectly. India produces around 9 lakh tons of shrimp every year, making it the biggest contributor to India's $7.8 billion fisheries export sector. Many were hoping things would improve as the restrictions due to COVID-19 eased. But the last couple of years have brought a different set of troubles.
ये साल तो मतलब कोविड से बहुत बेकार है, मतलब लेबर चार्जेस बढ़ गए, लाइट बिल, फिर फीड चार्ज, सीट का, जो सीड हमको 60 पैसे मिलता था आज 130 में है, जो फीड हम लोग को 72 रुपीस में मिलता था आज 130 है.
A capital-intensive exercise, shrimp farming needs an investment of 15 to 20 lakh rupees per hectare. But for Surat shrimp farmers, production costs have gone up nearly 35%. Meanwhile, selling prices have fallen 25% thanks to the global economic slowdown and China's prolonged COVID-19 restrictions. Exports too have fallen by nearly 15% in the past year.
I'm doing from 92 this business. The rates which was there in 92 is the same till now, prawns rate. Other everything has increased.
These farmers are now hoping that the government will throw them a lifeline, but after years of being disappointed, even this hope is fading.
मिनिमम सेलिंग प्राइस गवर्नमेंट फिक्स करे तो अब फार्मर को पता होगा भाई ये सेलिंग प्राइस मिनिमम रहने वाला है, तो अगर मेरा कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन होता तो मेरे को किलो में 10 रुपया 20 रुपया 50 रुपया कमा सकता हूँ.
इलेक्ट्रिसिटी उसको कम करेगा तो हमारे लिए बहुत अच्छा रहेगा. ऐसा
अच्छा
3-4 साल से प्रेजेंट भी कर रहे हैं हमारा ये इशू,
ओके
बट वहाँ से कोई ऐसा अब तक कोई पॉजिटिव रिस्पांस मिला है, बट रिजल्ट कुछ नहीं.
That's not to say that the government has been blind and deaf to their plight. Last year, it reduced duty on certain inputs for shrimp farming, but the industry says a lot more needs to be done to lower production costs.
Feed cost is very important. So if there is a possibility where shrimp feed ingredients, their additives, so they come under import duty levied is 5% to 15%. If this duty is exempted even for 4 years, so this can prove to be very beneficial.
Nearly 99% of the India's shrimp produce is exported. But with exports proving vulnerable, the industry is hoping for help in tapping into the domestic market.
When you develop a domestic market, 10 to 12 gram shrimp which cannot be exported or which cannot fetch a profitable realization of price in the international market can easily accommodate in domestic market.
Farmers add that any help in increasing the area under shrimp farming can also help transform shrimp farming into a mammoth industry. For instance, Gujarat alone has 3.75 lakh hectares of land that's suitable for shrimp farming. But only 2.5% of this is actually being used currently. And if the factors line up, Gujarat alone has the potential to produce more than 3.5 lakh tons of shrimp per year and provide employment to over 1 lakh people. In Surat, Shilpa Rani Peta.
All right, that is India's shrimp farming story, and the hope really is that the budget will help them in some way and throw them some kind of lifeline. But on that note, we're going to wrap up on this edition of Business Lunch with the market around 100 points in the green. We've seen a little bit of a slip, not too much at all. It's around 20 points from the high point of the day. But thanks for tuning in. Midcap Radar is up next.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Midcap Radar. I'm Reema Tendulkar, with me Sonal Bhutra, and these are the top stories that we're tracking at 1:30. Stocks push higher after a strong close on Tuesday. Metals, IT lead the gains, while realty and utilities drag.
Delta Corp records a soft performance in what is a traditionally strong third quarter. Earnings disappoint on a higher base. The management tells CNBC-TV18 it will be a few quarters before the online gaming business is profitable, while Shalby also falls on a mixed set of Q3 earnings.
New order wins boost stocks. RVNL gains after it's declared the lowest bidder for different phases of Surat and Ahmedabad metro rail projects. Salasar Technology gains 4% after it bags orders worth 143 crore rupees from Nepal Electricity Authority.
Metro Brands gains today after reporting good revenue growth in Q3 with stable margins. Management tells CNBC-TV18 they are comfortable with guided range of 55 to 57% gross margins and expect it to hit 250 store opening in the next 3 years.
Well, for the benchmark indices, we're currently up close to about 115 points in the Nifty. On the sensex, it's up 400 points plus. The Nifty has been steady over the last 2 hours, but the mid-caps continue to gain ground. So pull up the mid-cap index and you would see that we are pretty much at the high point of the day. The advanced decline ratio holding steady. Once again, it's the HDFC twins batting for the Bulls. HDFC Bank is up 1.7% today. Yesterday as well, the stock was higher in trade, gaining close to about 1%. So that's a pocket of strength. IT continues to be higher for the 6th consecutive day now. And of course, the top sectoral gainer are the metals, right? Tata Steel, Hindalco moving up, and CLSA was also very bullish.
Yes, that's correct. And today, we are talking about PSU banking names as well. While you spoke about the fact that it is the top gainer, PSU banks, they continue their downfall, and it has been one of the biggest gainers last year. But for last couple of days, we are seeing that it has come in for some profit taking. The mid-cap side of things looking good, 165 points higher. The mid-cap index has been underperforming the benchmark for a bit, but now that's not the case. So advanced decline ratio comfortably in the favor of advances, and the index is actually at the day's high. So let's take this theme forward, and this is our segment Mid-Cap Movers. We have Vivek to take us through the mid-caps that are moving around in trade. Vivek.
Well, good afternoon. Today while we were looking and screening for the stocks, we actually saw quite a few stocks hitting the fresh 52-week high. Some volume action too is back as far as the entire mid-cap space is concerned. Some interesting names today at fresh 52-week high. Mid-cap metal stocks today, actually have managed, and especially these two names have been on a tear in the recent past. So both Nelco as well as JTL Industries today doing very well in the session. Few stocks, that on the back of news flow that are doing very well in today's trading session. Polyplex Corporation, news agencies have reported that this particular stock, this particular company's overseas subsidiary may be sold. On the back of that, even the Indian arm today is moving up on very high volumes. Sundaram Fasteners on the back of an EV order win today is moving higher in the session as well. Some stocks that are moving higher on very strong volumes. TVS Electronics today on very strong volumes, up over 11%. Mirza International seeing some rub-off effect after peer reported strong earnings. MTNL as well as Jestile continues its up move after the strong results. On the other hand, some of the stocks today that are seeing a bit of weakness. Star Health, Bank of India continues its down move after yesterday's result declaration. Nykaa as well as Delivery, both of these new age names continue to see selling pressure.
Thank you very much for that. Let's invite Rahul Sharma of Equity 99 Advisors on the show now. Rahul, up for the second day in a row. Do you think markets have the strength to push higher and conquer that 18,250 mark, which previously acted as a bit of a resistance for us?
Good afternoon, Reema. See, overall, Nifty today has shown good session and good moves, but also it is resisting the upside hurdle of 18,200 levels. Until the time we don't get closing above 18,200, we will not be able to see fresh longs on the Nifty with confidence.
the gains which have been made today may fizzle out as profit booking might take place on the higher ends. So it is likely to stay within the range of 18,200 on the upside, 18,000 on the mid side, and 17,800 on the lower side. Speaking about Bank Nifty, 42,500 is still looking like a strong resistance level. It is somehow looking not so strong as compared to Nifty. And on the downside, it has strong support at 42,230 to be very precise on the immediate basis, and 42,000 levels as a bigger support zone. So overall, I'm only looking out for the stock-specific action and avoiding index strategies for now, as market may behave more volatile and shall remain in a range.
Okay, so stock-specific strategy because markets could be volatile in the near term. In that case, what is your stock-specific strategy, Rahul? What are your technical bets?
So, Sonal, first bet is Usha Martin Limited. As metals are strong, this mid-cap company, which belongs to a small steel segment, looks very promising on technical charts. Right now, it is trading near 192, 193 levels. There's a classic flag and pole formation on daily charts. It is breakout ready. Volumes have been improving, and all time frames, our technical charts are positive and trading above all important moving averages. So the target levels for Usha Martin Limited would be 205 to 210, and stop loss should be placed at 185 levels for Usha Martin. Second selection is from the sugar. Balrampur Chini is my selection, which is trading around 401 and 2. See, wonderful chart pattern for Balrampur Chini. It can give huge breakout as soon as it crosses 406 or 400 levels. A small curve is giving a rounding bottom formation. And if you stretch out the charts, the daily charts, you may see an inverted head and shoulder pattern as well. So overall, this is looking good and a strong bet at this current market levels. So Balrampur Chini will be is set with the target of 430, and stop loss will be placed at 390 levels.
Thank you very much for that. Get into a break. As we do that, here is an important piece of information for all our viewers. Don't miss out on the 19 must-have stocks for 2023. Subscribe to Money Control Pro to get the full list.
आग को फैलने